boom, favorite NBA Finals moment. And here's what I'm actually, my ADHD that's kicking in. I coughed and turned around and seen something that's laying on my couch. There's a gentleman that goes to my church that comes to visit at where I work every now and then because he's a mechanic basically. But my wife has been fixing him and his wife some food here lately because they're just a little bit older and needing some help with different things. Anyways, long story short, so he brought me something to work yesterday, and I'm really excited about this. Are you ready to see this? Okay, it's not that exciting, but I'm going to show you. It's a Wheaties box from the 2009-2010 Lakers. And you know who's on there? That's Mr. Kobe Bryant.
Yes, sir.
I wonder if this might actually end up being worth something. He knows that I collect some different things, and he's like, you know what? Here, I've got this. Why don't you just take it? I'm like, that's got Kobe Bryant's face on it. Like, are you sure you want to give that to me? I mean, that might be worth $50-$60 right now, maybe $100. Who knows? Because, we know the story. But I was like, okay, yeah, man, thanks. I appreciate that. You sure you don't want me to pay or anything? He's like, no, man, just take it. Y'all have been giving us some food and stuff, cooking us some hot meals. But I'm excited about that. Can't wait to find a place to hang this up at it.
Yeah, hold that down for a little bit, man. Yeah, definitely hold that down for a little bit.
Like, I looked some up, and they had them, like, squished, flattened out. I mean, this is still, like, the box form, so I'm going to leave it that way, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
He also gave me another one. It's a Roger Starback in it. It's like a hologram one, but you can't tell.
Yeah, that's fire. That's fire. That's when Wheaties boxes used to be a big thing.
Yep. So, Nikolai, tell me, what is your favorite NBA Finals moment?
So, are we just doing 5, or are we just doing like one in particular?
I mean, I got 5, but listen, if I got 1 or 2,
I thought about it, all I got is 1.
I'm gonna do top 5. So, I think the first one that comes to mind is Magic in 1980. Kareem misses Game 6. He starts at the center position. He has like 42 and 15, I want to say, as a rookie as well. People forget he was a rookie that year and led the team. Who they played? Philly, I think that was that year. I think they played Philly, and then they ended up beating them. So that's one of them. Another moment for me is, I think this is 1987, I want to say. This is when the Lakers and the Pistons played. Isaiah Thomas, he had like a bad ankle. Scored like 25 points in the third quarter. Just absolutely crazy. Number 3, I'm sure this has to be on everyone's list. The flu game. I'm sure everyone has to agree with that one. Flu game. 38 points. The fourth moment for me probably has to be Kobe in 2000 against Indiana, Game 4. Took over in that overtime after Shaq fouled out. And then the fifth moment, I gotta go. I mean, this one kind of hurts me, but I'm going to be unbiased on this one, but the Kyrie shot in 2016.
Blocked by James.
He didn't say the block by James.
Yeah, I'm not saying the block, nah.
You got what's your moment, Michael?
Well, I mean, there's other moments, I guess, now that he's kind of talking about some. I mean, the James is definitely iconic of a block. Let's just be real. Even this one kind of just sticks out more because of the Steph Curry throwing the pacifier, his mouthpiece. I mean, that's the negative way, but it's a moment that I'll never forget, just the reaction that he had. Ray Allen's 3 in the corner.
I forgot about that. Dang, that's crazy.
My biggest one, as soon as I read it, the only one that I could ever think about was Michael Jordan taking the shot over Utah, pushing off on Russell, crossing back over, hitting it. What'd you say?
I'll say Brian. Is it Brian Russell or Byron Russell? I always forget.
I thought you said Fallon Russell because people say no. Okay, but and then just the push off, which hit, whatever, cross back over, come up, hit that 3 or the free throw jump shot to win the game. To me, that's the biggest moment. But I mean, there are some other moments. I mean, even Butler, of course, that's my team. Bent over, giving everything that he had to the team, just exhausted there. I mean, those are moments that you think, wow. That's all I got.
That's all you got?
Yeah.
Yes, flu game, no doubt.
Of course,
flu
game.
That's iconic. Ray Allen knocking down the 3, sending it into overtime against the Spurs. One of the greatest NBA Finals series of all time, in my opinion. Heat Spurs 2013. That's iconic. Blocked by James, down 1-3. Going
man.
I'm sorry, bro. It's just it's one of the greatest series I've ever seen.
It's definitely up there.
The block leading into the shot by Kyrie. So I guess you could combine both because both of those were big moments in that game. It's Kobe. Got to go with Kobe. Getting that second one against the Celtics. Getting that second one in a row against the Celtics. The fifth one over Shaq. Meta World. I was about to say Ron Artell. You got so many names, but Meta World.
Meta Sandiford.
Yeah, well, he's all over the place. New York stand up. Knocking down the three. Game 7 against the Celtics. That was a big shot. Big shot for sure.
Quick question. The alley-oop from Shaq and Kobe alley-oop and the hand as he runs back. That was in the finals, wasn't it?
I think that was conference finals. That was against Portland.
Yeah.
Okay.
Game 7.
Game 7, yeah. It was Western Conference Finals. Yeah, that's an iconic play, of course.
Right, but not finals. But
yeah, those are my top. Those are my top 5 for sure, man. That and then Kobe again, like you guys took most of mine. Against the Pacers, Shaq falling out, and Kobe doing the chill. I got this to the Laker bench. Telling Phil Jackson to relax because Phil Jackson was telling him to pass the ball. Because I was actually watching Jalen Rose. He was talking about that series, and he was saying like Phil Jackson was going at Kobe like, you got to move the ball, give it up, and then he knocked down big shots. Just relax.
Froby.
My guy, man. So yeah, those are my top finals moments. There's obviously so many.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, because I just started thinking about like a few other moments, like even like I said, this is me being unbiased. LeBron and Kyrie Game 5, where they both dropped 41. I ain't gonna lie, that might be one of the greatest games I've ever seen from like two guys. Like to me, that's why. And this is this is my opinion. To me, I think LeBron and Kyrie are like I said, this is my opinion. They're like a top 5 duo. Like we talk about like the skill set and everything. I know they only got one ring, but like those two together, like me personally, I got Bron and Kyrie over Bron and D Wade. That's just my opinion. Like
wow.
To me.
Listen, I mean their ring, that one ring is historic, bro. I mean, listen, it's just like it's on a different level. And then not only the 41 piece separately, but then also like we just said, the Game 7 on there's the icing on the cake for both of those guys to make two of the biggest plays in NBA Finals history, and of course Cleveland sports, bringing the first NBA championship to that city.
Championship.
Yeah, exactly. Obviously, don't count the Otto Graham, Jim Brown NFL championships from back in the day, but just that's those were big plays. Those were big plays, man. Best duo. I mean, listen, them over Kobe, them over LeBron and Wade.
I mean, okay. we all have our own opinion. We all have it, but that's just mine.
I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm going to say this: I would take Wade and LeBron over it because I look at it more of how they play together with the other teammates too. I think Kyrie is just one on 5, and that's how he plays. And I'm not saying it's wrong. Like he is just handles, which is good. He's very skill set, can take it to the hole, score on pretty much anyone. LeBron kind of the same way, but he also is a passer too. Like he involves his teammates. I just feel like the Wade and LeBron with teammates is a better duo than Kyrie and LeBron with teammates, if that makes any sense whatsoever. In my head, it does. And that's why I go with Wade, because Wade knew his role, and just watching that whole season, like it was just highlight after highlight as they worked together. Like I feel like Kyrie and LeBron was more isolations, or you take it here, I'm going to take it here, and well, I can't take it, so kick it out, somebody shoot it.
Yeah, they were Wade and LeBron. They were more exciting because again, that was like 26-year-old LeBron.
Right,
that was pretty
prime.
Yeah, that was from 26 to 30, age 26 to 30 for LeBron. So he was going crazy. Those are his best years. Again, like you just said, those are the prime years. So they have more plays in terms of the lobs, the full court lobs, and the alley oops. You think about the Christmas Day game, the crazy lobs. So I get that. It's tough, man. I mean, those are his top two teammates. I thought AD could, you win a championship, you win 2 championships with AD, but they weren't able to get it done this year. We'll see what happens going forward. But yeah, Wade and Kyrie easily his top 2 teammates, and even though it's just 1 championship for Cleveland, not one. It's just 73-9. It's just like 73-9, bro. Like they win, right? It's insane. It's insane. I never thought I'd see that in my life. I mean, I was alive when they went 72-10, but I don't remember it. I was only 2 years old. So.
I wasn't even alive. It's crazy.
So, yeah. So just for them to do that, and then for Cleveland to come back, it was just that was a 2016 was a crazy year for all different other reasons too, and that was just wild. So.
I feel that. I mean, I guess the way that I view it is, to me, it was like both of them were like at their peak. Like, when they, I mean, I'm not saying that D-Wade wasn't at his peak, but you could tell D-Wade, with the injuries and everything. And then, of course, him taking a step back, he was kind of on the decline. It wasn't the same D-Wade that it was like an 06 or even like an 09 when he averaged 30, which I mean, at the end of the day, he had to do what he had to do because at the end of the day, they won 2 championships. But the way that I looked at it was, that was Kyrie. To me, that was Kyrie at his peak. I feel like that was Kyrie at his best. I think that we can all kind of agree with that in a way. Not saying that he hasn't been great later on, but those were like his like peak moments in my opinion, like his peak years in my opinion. Same thing with Bron. I mean, maybe not Bron's peak years, but Bron was still playing at a very high level, obviously in those years. So I guess that's just the way that I look at it. And I mean, obviously, I definitely agree with you, Michael. I mean, of course, if you want to talk about who's a better teammate, I mean, of course, D-Wade. D-Wade. Being a great passer, being a great defender, being able to make that sacrifice, definitely D-Wade is probably the better teammate. But I guess like as a tandem, like both of them just being so dominant, even though Bron and D-Wade were dominant at times, but I feel like Bron and Kyrie, in my opinion, like both playing at their highest level, like were just slightly better.
For sure. And then another moment too, Jordan switching hands against the Lakers in '91.
That's what I was thinking of too, yeah.
Iconic there. The average of 40 against the Suns.
Yeah, he had that 55 game.
55 game is just Jordan was just on a completely different level, man.
That's my favorite, bro. That man just took care of business in the finals. That's why he went 6-0. Like people want to talk about the competition and stuff, but it's like, yo, like you gotta take care of who was in front of you.
That's it. And the problem that I have with that, and I don't want to really get too much into that because it's it becomes a never-ending argument. But people, they like to discredit the teams that Jordan faced. Those Trailblazer teams, you look at their records. They're in those years, bro. In the '90s, they were a hell of a team. They were a really good team, man.
Mighty Bounce.
They were an excellent team. There was just levels, bro. Jordan was just on a mission.
I don't think Mighty Mouse was on those teams.
Are you sure?
Yeah, Damon Stoudemire, no, like he was later on.
Yeah, it was probably a little bit later on, but yeah, Clyde.
Did he not play with
Cliff Robinson?
No, he played with like Sheed, Scottie Pippen, Steve Smith, and those guys. Like that was later on.
Yeah, it was late '90s.
Was it when
Suns.
Sabonis was there at least?
No, Sabonis was in the later years as well with Sheed and those guys.
Yeah, late '90s.
I'm way off then.
But yeah, bro, like those Phoenix Suns teams, it's a great team, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Like people forget Barkley was an MVP that year.
Yeah, Barkley was MVP.
He's like one of the best players of the league at that time.
And he went up against what's going on? Oh God, Omar was good, man.
Hey,
Omar, my guy.
It's good, bro.
There we are.
By, man. For sure. Let's get it. We're doing well. Yes,
Shout out
sir.
to Omar.
Absolutely. He said the Twitter wasn't working for him to get in the comments, so we got him on the YouTube there. So good. Welcome to the show this way.
Live show.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
But man, honestly, my bad, CJ. Go ahead.
Yeah, and it's just those jazz teams too. Like bro, John Stockton.
I know Nick.
Bro, John Stockton.
No, I'm playing.
He's better than Chris Paul, bro.
I'm playing.
He's better than Chris Paul. Plain and simple. It's just not even close. It's not, to me, it's not even close. That people forget about.
It's not close?
It's not close. It's not close. It's not close. People forget about the steals, his steals. He was a great defender too, bro. Mm-hmm. Watch the Gary Payton interviews when they asked him.
And he was a great flop too.
You talking about Stockton?
Yeah, he could flop like crazy as well.
Listen, man, he's to me, I'll take him over Chris Paul, bro. I would because he actually got to the finals as the second best player. Yeah, he didn't win. He went up against Jordan.
I remember that you said Gary Payton. Yeah, because he was talking like guarding him and everything. And so, like he had 10, 15 assists.
He was saying Stockton was harder to guard than Jordan.
Yeah, because he did everything. The passing, the picks, the defense as well. And then he'd be like, you look up, and all of a sudden he's got 8 points from the free throw line, and then so many other points that he's made. It's like this dude's got a triple double on me. So Stockton and Hornacek was really a knockdown two guard at that time as well. And then Russell was a great defensive player, as we talked about earlier. Could give you good minutes. That Utah team was supposed to win, in my opinion. I mean, they had a lot going on for them, and then the Bulls just really took it from them. You don't think so, Nick?
They weren't going to beat Chicago. I'm sorry. They weren't going to beat. I mean, they were a great team. I mean, they beat Houston those years. I think they beat Seattle as well. So,
Shaq and Kobe.
Oh, yeah, Shaq. I mean, but that was early years, though. Like, that was rookie Kobe.
It's like it was like second year, third year. Yeah. But Shaq wasn't. Shaq
was prime Shaq.
Yeah. Like Spurs with David Robinson. That was before Tim Duncan got there, but they were still a really good team. Like they were dominant. They just, again, they didn't have that guy. Thought Karl Malone was that guy, but he wasn't the guy like Mike. So.
Mm-hmm. Right. And honestly, I mean, since we're touching on the 90s a little bit, I guess it kind of wants me to touch on this question because I mean, I'm sure we all think of it. It's a hypothetical thing. If the Rockets and the Bulls would have faced each other in the finals in those years, who would have won? I think it would have been a close match. I mean, I've heard Kenny Smith say that that the Rockets would have easily handled Chicago. Mm-hmm. But I mean, we all know. I mean, at the end of the day, it's never going to happen. But I think it would have been great to see.
It would have been great to see because Olajuwon was much different than Malone and Barkley as a big man, as opposed to and Sean Kemp, some of those other bigs that Chicago went up against during that time, and he was just on a different level. It sucks. They came out. It was in the same draft class. Olajuwon went 1, Jordan went 3. It would have been must-see TV. It sucks that, Jordan, he stepped away for, you guys can figure out whatever reason. There's a lot of, conspiracy theories as to why he stepped away. But, and Olajuwon capitalized. He capitalized on the suit, went back-to-back, too. So, I think it would have been a 7-game series. This is 96 Bulls. It's just like, man, 72 and 10.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie.
72 and 10 is just
96 crazy. Was on a mission, bro. Especially after they lost to Shaq in Orlando the year before,
and then swept them the year after. It's just 72 and 10 is wild, bro.
That's crazy. That was actually the last time MJ lost a series too. Was 95, like a playoff series. It's crazy.
Just on a different level, bro. It's just on a different level, man, and.
I mean, nobody even talks about that part. Like the last time you lost a series. I mean, that's impressive.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think because I mean, like when he played for the Wizards, they never made the playoffs.
Nah, they weren't. They were dirt.
But I did look it up. The Bulls in the '98 against the Utah Jazz were negative 115 underdog for that finals.
You said that they were negative. They were the favorite. Did we say the underdogs?
The article I read said that they were actually, if it went to Game 7, that the Jazz were a 3-point favorite to win the 7th game.
I can see that. I mean, people forget that. I think they had home court advantage that year too.
Yeah, it was 2-3-2 back then.
Yeah,
it was 2-3-2.
So it was It was just so much. I'm so glad it's the way it is now. It's so much better.
I'm not really a big
Duncan
fan
Robinson's
of it though.
going off,
Like
boy.
the only reason why I'm not is because like travel purposes. Like it's like for instance,
Omar
like
will
if,
get to it.
like if the Lakers were to play the Knicks or whatever in the finals, like games 1 and 2 in LA, games 3 and 4 in New York, but then you got to fly all the way back to LA for game 5, all the way back to New York for game 6, back to LA for game 7. So I mean, I don't know. It's like the 2-3-2 had less travel. So I guess that's just the way that I see it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but if you were to steal one from that first 2, you have a huge advantage. The 3 home after you stole 1.
Yeah, bro.
That's true. That is true.
That's one of the reasons why they changed. I remember when they changed it too. I remember that.
Yeah, I think the last thing they did it was like 2012, I think, or something like that.